Welcome everyone. Join me today as we discuss on how to remain in a state of happiness. And as we proceed in today's conversation, I will want you to look at it as something that you can learn, and this can be a skill for you to always remain happy regardless of the situation you come across. Welcome and join me. Well, before we dive into today's subject, I want to make certain things very clear to us that regardless of anything anyone has talked about on the subject of happiness, you have to be aware of the fact that you are human, and what makes us human is a bunch of emotions that we have around us. We can be in different frequency, a frequency of happiness, a state of sadness, a state of peace, a state of joy, a state of bliss. And because we have all these attributes to exercise any of these emotions, we have to understand the fact that certain things trigger us to move towards certain emotions. Now, I can say this for a fact that due to the research we have, the science has already unveiled to us, we have always understand this that even the actions we take, the food we eat, every way we choose our environment, every way we explore ourselves to the world, these things contribute to the kind of emotions we feel. There are health issues that can, complicate matters that has to do with emotions. And when you look at a little born baby, the moment they give birth to a child, the first thing everyone expects that child to do is for the child to cry. No one wants to have a child and expect that the moment I give birth to the child, let my child start laughing because I want my child to be happy. If your child start laughing, everyone begins to get scared, like, is there a problem here? Is this child having mental issues? Because our expectation is for a child to cry. This is an attribute that we use in understanding as humans, that the child is it needs to be held. The child is new to the world, and the child does not know exactly what is actually going on, and because of that our expectations is that a child has to cry. Now, I don't know all the research that has to do with children crying, but I can talk about the state of mind because I have little understanding on why things go on, why we change our emotions and all of that. It is easier for most people to come online and tell you that for you to remain in a happy state of mind, it simply means you have to learn to pray, you need to learn to meditate. I think there are certain factors that attribute to you being in a happy state of mind. One of it has to do with the food you eat. One of it has to do with your environment. One of it has to do with the people you surround yourself with. One of the things has to do with your desires and your career. One of the things has to do with what are your actions, your hobbies, and how do you participate in the things that you love doing. Now, when you are able to figure out most of these things, your diet, your exercise, your movement, what you study, the environment you're in, those who tends to be your friend, those who you circulate yourself around, then you would know exactly why you feel the way you feel. Now, it doesn't change the fact that some people have bad experiences as children, and I'm probably not emphasizing this discussion, or taking this discussion to children, or trying to educate children. I think I am more concerned about the adult on this subject, because it is only the adult that you have to teach how to be happy. When children were children, nobody would teach a child how to remain happy or how to be in a happy state of mind. But as we grow older, we become people that they have to make us laugh. We want to listen to comedy to become happy. We want to listen to people. We are even looking for relationships just because we are seeking for happiness. And I have made it in one of my videos that I made it so clear that marriage does not mean you are going to be happy. Marriage are for those who are seeking for meaning in life. And when it comes to the state of happiness, you have to ask yourself, first of all, why are you not happy? Because for you to start looking at the aspect of you want to always remain happy, now that means that there's something that is drawing your attention to say that maybe I'm not as happy as I'm supposed to have to be. Maybe I don't have sufficient happiness inside of me. And that means you are having challenges of being troubled in the way you perceive life, in the things that are happening around you. I would say the first thing you have to do is have you educate yourself about your diet. I'm not the one to take this opportunity to tell you about what you should be eating and what you shouldn't be eating. But you can look into the factors of what you eat and you ask yourself, does my diet contribute to my mood swing? Does my diet contribute to my unhappiness? When you ask yourself this question, you can ask, are you taking too many sugars? Are you taking too many carbs? Are you taking, if you're not having a balanced diet, you're not eating certain food, because not every human being are compatible to keep eating meat. Some people love eating meat, but your gene does not recognize excessive meat. Some people, their system do not like alcohol. When they start taking alcohol, they begin to experience what we call mood swing. Some people, it is sugar. So it depends. When you look at your kind of person and you ask yourself, you have to make certain research. You can go on YouTube and make those research, or you can meet a specialist, a nutrition specialist, who can educate you on what diet is good for you, so you can be in a better state. It's not like food is going to make you happy, but it can give you a better state of mind that you can use in fostering what you are going through in life. The second one you need to look at is, who are your friends? Who are the people that are close to you? Who are the people you pay attention to? What, for you to understand why you are not happy, I would even encourage that you look at the aspect of, what discussion do I have mostly with my friend? Now, the kind of discussion you have with your friend would even determine your kind of happiness. If the discussion of your friend is who you are going to bring down next, who is the person that should fall, who is the person that is your enemies, if these are the things you commonly have in your discussion, then if someone is not falling, you're not going to be happy. If the person you consider to be your enemy is not falling, then you find it difficult to be happy. If your friend is not there to discuss things about someone's life going down while yours are going up, then the tendency for you to be happy becomes difficult. Why? Because you are creating what we call expectations. Any friendship you have, what are the expectations of your friendship? Is it something you guys can really accomplish, or is this something that becomes very difficult for you guys to accomplish? Now, if it is something that also depends on another person for you guys to feel that happiness, then that means you are keeping friendship with people who your happiness is depending on them, in the aspect that your expectations with your friend is, if this person falls, and that's why you see most gossipers, most friends that people have, they don't really have friends, they have what we call gossipers. So when you gossip about this person, you gossip about that person, and you feel like, okay, this person is not better than me, something is going wrong with this person's life, then you feel happy, then you move around. But the moment you see that your enemies, the person you consider to be your enemy, is doing well in life, then you become miserable. And to simplify it in a way, we can always say that expectation is what diminishes happiness in people, because most people are like, if something happened, then I'll be happy. You can also look at your career, your life, your career job, or your career path in life, and you can ask yourself also, does my career path, what are my expectations in my career path? If I'm expecting that I'm supposed to be a supervisor and I'm just a gate man, then you are going to see yourself down, rather than you seeing yourself as someone who is graceful, who is happy to be alive. Rather, you feel like your life is miserable, you are not having what you want in life. These are the things that I would like you to consider. Then, to go to the real state of mind that I would actually want to talk about when it comes to happiness, I think I'll break it down when it comes to the aspect of nutrition. Do you exercise in the morning? Because sometimes your body itself wants to feel happy. If you're not stretching enough, you're not doing a lot of exercise, you're not, when I say a lot of exercise, not like you exercise yourself every time, but when blood does not flow in certain part of your body, which when you look at children jump. Remember that children's body are very flexible. So when they jump and they play, they do a lot of things. There's what we call blood circulation that goes around their body. But as we grow older, because they tell us that we need to be responsible, and so we can't play the way we are supposed to play, and so we start walking towards a direction. We go to office, we sit down, we write whatever we want to write, and we think we are now responsible, we are very grown up. But because we are not exercising our body and moving our body the way our body expects us to play with it, then blood refuses to flow in certain places, and then you begin to feel like you are having aches in certain part of your body. And sometimes what you actually need is just stretching, exercising, moving your body left and right, doing every part of maybe cardio, whatever you have to do to make blood flow around. So your body itself, when your body is not feeling too well, it makes you become unhappy. But we want to go to the greater side of it, and we want to talk about awareness. And that is what I'm going to use to summarize this. Awareness is one of the most important things that I believe is the cost for people's happiness. It costs people happiness because a lot of people in today's world are not aware of their situations. And when I say they are not aware of their situations, they are like, if this happen, I'm happy. When this happen, I'm happy. These are the things that make me happy. And then you're putting your thoughts, you're putting your expectations, you're putting your desires on somebody else to provide those things for you. But when you are aware of yourself, you are aware of your thoughts, you are aware of your steps that you take in life, happiness does not become a discussion. Because happiness, number one, tends to be something that we call it a state of mind. The same way sadness is a state of mind. The same way joy is a state of mind. But what you need to focus on is, if you're very conscious of the things you do, what you're going to discover is you would have understanding of what you feel. And when you understand what you are feeling, you can pay attention to the reasons why you are feeling what you feel. Maybe you're eating a diet that does not work with you. If you are aware of yourself that, when did I eat this food? How do my body start responding to this particular food after I ate it, after a few hours? Is it because I did not go out to eat, to work out today? Probably that might contribute to why I'm unhappy. Maybe I'm taking excessive alcohol. Maybe this is what is contributing to my unhappiness. Until you pay attention to these details, and it only can happen with you being aware of yourself, being aware of your mind, being aware of your environment, being aware of the discussion you are having with people. Because the more you foster yourself in having certain discussions with people, you ask yourself, what are your discussions about? If the discussion is about the downfall of another person, the expectation of this, the expectation of that, and you feel like, if when those things happen, when you buy the car, when you buy the house, when those dreams you have, when they get to you, that is when you are going to be happy, then you are only going to experience a little bit of dopamine or a little bit of happiness in your life, and your default would always be sadness. So awareness is one of the key, that you know that I am not participating in the things that are going to destroy me. I am aware of the steps I take. I'm aware of the words that I speak. I meditate. I look into my heart, and I know that my heart is pure. You are not meant to be perfect, but if it is pure to a certain level, happiness becomes something that you don't pursue, because happiness is not what anyone pursue. You can't pursue happiness and get it. In fact, if they ask you what is happiness, you can only describe something in your mind. You can't describe something that you see, because happiness is not a physical thing. Happiness is an emotional thing. And so because of that emotional state that you want, for you to always remain happy, the best thing you need to do is you pay attention. You are aware of everything you do with yourself. And the moment you don't put expectation on anything, and you understand that even if I'm gravitating, or I have a career, or I have a goal in my life, just being alive right now, moving towards the step of achieving my goal, is a great opportunity for me, then you become happy. I'll round up by saying this. One of the way for you to always remain happy is for you to find something to be grateful for. If you don't have anything you are grateful for, then you find it difficult to be happy. Bad things happen to humans on earth. Bad things has been happening to all human beings in your ancestors, since your ancestors. 20 million years, 1 million years from now, 20 million years from now, people would always experience these emotions. There's nothing we are going to do to take away this feeling. The experience we have been having in the past, our parents had it. Marriage, when you look at marriage is not a place where anyone would tell you that they've always enjoyed their marriage. No. Now, some people may have it better than others. That can be debatable. But one thing for sure is, happiness does not stay too long when your expectation is for someone to give it to you. Happiness only comes when you pay attention to what is going on, and you are aware that you are not contributing to your bad feelings or the bad emotions that you're going to, because emotions you get that you feel within you is a karma. It is the karma of your actions. It's the karma of your words. It's the karma of your interactions. It's the karma of the things you plant. Those are the things you are reaping back. The same way, if you give to people, if you give to the poor, when you have abundance or when you have enough, and you give to the animals, you give to your neighbors, you give to all these people, maybe they appreciate it or not. But for you to see yourself giving to orphanages and all of that, you realize that you feel happy. Why? Because you are investing and making other people happy. The moment you try to make other people happy, the more the karma you receive, and you become a very happy person. These are the things I want to talk to you about. I've spoken about not expecting too much from your friends. I talked about you not putting too much expectation on your career. I talked about being aware, and I talked about giving and investing happiness into people. You are going to receive it 10 times. These are the principles of life. And I talked about diets also, that how diets also affect how you feel. If you think this has been useful to you, give it a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Adios, amigos.